Emmanuel Macron's King of Europe speech to the European Parliament exposed him as a danger to Britain, France and Europe itself, a leading Brexiteer has said. Former Brexit Party MEP Ben Habib was speaking after the French president addressed the Assembly in Brussels yesterday, highlighting the need for more integration, indirectly referencing the idea of a European army and finding time for a swipe at the UK. With concerns mounting over the prospect of an imminent Russian invasion of Ukraine, Mr. Macron called for new security and stability order for Europe, without offering specific details about what this would entail. He also urged the European Union to be tough to ensure the UK sticks to Brexit agreements on Northern Ireland and fishing rights. Mr. Habib suggested the speech amounted to an audition for the role of King of Europe, and with it, the leadership of a reluctant kingdom breaking apart at the seams. He told the Daily Express, President Macron, a long-time believer in an EU federal army, clearly did not consult his German counterpart before speaking in the European Parliament on the 19th of January. He used the opportunity to talk about the need for Europe to define its own security needs, so far nothing new from him there, but then went on to suggest Europe stand up to Russia. Well, in that event, the other protagonist in his EU project, Germany, would likely face an immediate fuel crisis. Perhaps Mr. Macron momentarily forgot that Germany has banned nuclear fuel and is very largely reliant on Russian gas? In the course of his speech, Mr. Macron had revealed an interesting problem for a sovereign EU, suggested Mr. Habib. He explained, what is good for one member state is often not good for another. It has always been thus. This is the fundamental flaw at the heart of their drive to closer union. As if that illustration was not enough, he talked at length about the importance of liberal democracy and the need for the rule of law. He was having a dig at Poland and Hungary. The bloc refused to respect laws made by democratically elected governments, but instead attempted to enforce its own version of the law made by unelected bureaucrats in Brussels, Mr. Habib claimed. He added, well, I know the Poles, they will not stand for a second the replacement of the Soviet Union by the EU. The seeds for the end of the EU were sown by Brexit and, unless Macron and his like do not moderate their contempt for democracy, it will be the Poles and their like that will deal it a fatal blow. With respect to Mr. Macron's remarks about Brexit, Mr. Habib said, no speech by Macron would be complete without a dig at the Brits. And sure enough he did not disappoint with his less than veiled accusation that we cannot be trusted. This from a man who threatened to cut off the electricity supply to Jersey, impounded British ships, sent French boats into our waters to steal our fish and aids and abets illegal immigrants crossing the Channel. All this, by the way, in fundamental breach of his beloved rule of law. Every time Macron opens his mouth he proves he is a danger to the United Kingdom, to Europe and, indeed, to France itself. During his speech, Mr. Macron said, "It is good that Europeans and the United States coordinate, but it is necessary that Europeans conduct their own dialogue." "We must put together a joint proposal, a joint vision, a new security and stability order for Europe." He subsequently added, "Our British friends at the moment are trying to adopt an approach which is the one that prevailed at the start of the 1980s, where you've got a level of acceptable economic illegal migration. You allow people to work without papers because it's helpful to the economy, but that doesn't face the reality of migratory flows now." Secondly, there need to be legal, stable routes to be able to migrate to the UK, and this is a situation that we're confronted with. This is a dialogue that we need to pursue with the UK. It's a horrendous humanitarian situation, but that's the reality.